This is a story about Toad, a proud attendant to Princess Peach and a longtime protector of the Mushroom Kingdom. One day, Toad was on a stroll, and it took him on quite a journey. He left the kingdom with all the necessary vitamins he needed, went on a fun treasure hunt that got him lost in the woods. He was dodging lots of fun surprises in the cave and was enjoying his time at the funhouse when all of a sudden he teleported into space. Toad fell down back to Earth and landed outside an ancient Incan temple. Toad noticed some Goombas up ahead on the path. He quickly snuck around but was stopped by the piranha guarding the entrance. Feeling trapped, Toad decided to escape. But what's this? A trap? A barrier blocking Toad in? Toad quickly attacked the Goombas, only to discover they were guarding a precious mushroom. Now, with the power surging through Toad's veins, he was able to plow through the piranha plant. But that left Toad trapped at the entrance. Running out of options, he notices a single button that he decides to push. It quickly set off a chain reaction. Was this a mistake? The ground is rumbling, the walls are crumbling. Could this be it for Toad? Oh, it opened up an entrance. Toad headed in to see what shinies await him. But this cave was completely empty, with only a pit that would lead to his doom. Toad, left with very little options, he found a button that he decides to push. Upon pushing it, he notices a boulder barreling down the corridor. Thinking quickly, he continues to smash the button until the boulder broke through the wall, creating an escape. Toad not being out of the fire yet, he approaches a new challenge which requires just the right timing. Feeling lucky to be alive, Toad sees the exact same button he noticed at the entrance. Except this time, dropping down from the ceiling came a mushroom that allowed Toad to break free. Toad got out of the frying pan and into the fire. Mounted on top of his ball, there he stood, the evil Lemmy. Toad, unsure what to do, he notices some bombs that he could use to aid his escape. Toad, carefully grabbing the hot bomb, he throws it into the trigger but misses. Being cautious, he grabs another one, and this time, it was a direct hit. "It's working," Toad said. Knowing it's weakening Lemmy, he decides to grab another bomb, but it explodes before he could get away. Unsure what to do, Toad tries to grab another bomb, but does not have the strength to lift it. Lemmy laughing with amusement as Toad struggles to pick up the bomb, but does not have the strength to continue. What's this? Toad thought. Where am I? Back at the entrance? Was it all just a dream? The Tower of Goombas, the secret mush, all exactly where they were before. Toad wanted to uncover the secret, so he went back into the temple by hitting the one button again. Feeling that familiar earth rumble, Toad waits with anticipation, but this time, a different entrance opened up. Upon arriving back in the temple, came a boulder quickly rolling towards Toad. With quick reflexes, he swiftly smashed the boulder up and out of the way. Toad rushes off, but trips off the edge, catching the claw right before he fell to his doom. Quickly, Toad climbed up out of the pit, and again sees the same button. What could happen this time? Alas! From above came a sword. Toad, strengthened with confidence, he enters Lemmy's lair again. As expected, standing, Lemmy mounted on his ball, but this time Toad could summon the power of explosions at will. However, unfamiliar with this new skill, he fumbles a bomb, breaking the floor beneath him. Toad tries again, but still is unable to make the jump high enough to break the block barrier, causing him to drop his sword. He jumps in after it, hoping he can save his magic sword, but it's too late. What's this? Back at the entrance? Toad has become all too familiar with this place. He quickly races back into the temple. Pressing the button, the fire melts the entryway for Toad to press on. Knowing exactly what's coming his way, Toad launches the spike ball into the air, breaking the wall once again. Years of anti-softlock practice has paid off. Toad continues to scale the wall of the temple to push the magic button once more, only this time, he receives a mega mushroom. Feeling completely indestructible, he barges back into Lemmy's lair to watch him cowered with fear. Toad jumps to break down the barrier, not realizing his weight is crumbling the floor beneath him. He goes for the second barrier, nearly missing the pit forming beneath him. Only one more to go, but brute strength wasn't enough. How does this keep happening? Why do I keep waking up here? Stuck in some kind of time loop? Toad went to the front entrance to push the button once more, but opened up a different entrance. How does the walls keep changing, he wonders. Is this deja vu?
He remembers exactly what to do as if he's already been here. Toad pushes the button once again and waits for the mush with anticipation, but something feels different this time. Crashing down from above comes a yummy fire flower which blesses Toad with the ability to melt walls. And Lemmy. Armed with the knowledge of his previous lives, Toad releases the bombs. He used his firepower to launch them up at the target to attack Lemmy. Feeling overconfident, he misses his next target by a hair, breaking the floor beneath him. He tries again, but once more missed. Toad can't afford to lose his footing now and keep breaking the floor beneath him. With another bomb, he was able to do it this time, and he hold on once more. Right on target, killing Lemmy and receiving the key to his vault. And there it was, Lemmy's gold stash, piled away with only a few measly piranhas guarding it. Toad quickly gathered up all the gold, including the 50 for the fans, and didn't leave a single coin behind. Feeling incredibly thankful to leave this place behind him, Toad makes his way to the top of the temple so he can head back to the castle to serve the princess victorious once again. So, some of you guys may be wondering how this was done. For that, let's start from the beginning. Not that beginning. I was actually working on a troll for a new level I was designing when I came across something incredibly janky. And by janky, I mean it worked 100% of the time, but only half the time. Took me a little while to see what the problem was. I was designing an exit troll for a room, so it was going to be placed at the end of the room, of course. That being said, it needed to work 100% of the time no matter what the player does along the way or how much time they took to get there. The idea I was playing around with was once you get to the end of the room, there was only one thing you could do, which was push the button. My plan was to have like a falling fish somewhere where it couldn't hurt you to make the player panic, rush into the door, which by revealing the correct door was above you all along. So when you end up going back to do it again, you end up waiting for the contraption to destroy all the blocks, giving you a vine to climb up to the door with. Of course, if you don't jump out of the way, there's going to be a falling fish, but that's a given. And now you can climb all the way up to the top, fish-free for victory. However, it felt like every second time I tested this troll, it broke. And I didn't understand why, since I had changed nothing and the player is bound to a tiny little box below. So I cut the troll in half and realized it wasn't activating the big spike ball that destroyed the blocks to clear the way for the vine. I even tested this from the beginning and I saw that the claw would sometimes drop the spike ball to activate both the Kaizos or just one of them. Alright, stop for a second. I know what you're thinking. You're all down there in the comments right now saying Seath Gaming already taught us about randomizers and the player's input would determine the random event. Well, hold up for a second. I don't disagree with you when it comes to standard RNG components such as coins bouncing on the ground, clown cars flying away, hammer bros walking, and more. But here, I believe this to be something different based on the time the claw has spent swinging. You see, I chopped the section in half that was causing the randomization and simplified it just a little bit to see what was going on. I started without moving or hitting any inputs, and it was causing the claw to create two different scenarios. I even overlaid them to see what was happening, and the only difference between them was spawning the spike ball into the swing of the claw at two slightly different times. And this was consistently causing a different outcome. Which brings me to the whole reason why I'm making this level and the video. I believe this claw jank differs hitting one or both blocks purely based on the time it has spent loaded in the active gameplay area as opposed to the player inputs leading up to the point. Reason being is after I loaded into the game, I did nothing different but hit the jump button to spawn the spike ball, and it still created a different outcome. Now, realizing I can't use this bit of tech for a troll that I was building, I decided to build a level to show it off instead. Which, by the way, is live right now if you'd like to check it out. Play it for yourself, my maker code's in the description. The first randomizer opened up two different paths depending on the number of blocks that got hit by the spike ball when it was dropped from the claw. If the spike ball hit both the blocks, a giant spike ball would come down destroying all the blocks, revealing the path to the left. If only the left block got hit, there would be a parachute spike ball that could float away to safety, hitting the block with a fireball opening up the path to the right. The two other randomizers worked pretty much the exact same, only instead of opening up two different paths, they contained a fire flower or a link suit that came down with the spike ball, and in the block to the side contained an SMB2 mush or a mega mush that was able to make its way down to the player through a different path. One thing I did notice, I wasn't getting a completely random outcome with this contraption unless I spent around 8 seconds or more with the claw in the active game screen area. Because when I spawned the spike ball right away, it was always producing the same outcome. maybe it just takes a while for it to magically start swinging on its own. That was why I added a little trick to the randomizer to allow the claw to be in the active gameplay area for a little bit before the players were allowed to trigger the contraption. And that was pretty much it. With that being said, if you guys have a different explanation as to what you think is going on in this, please let me know down in the comments. I'd be happy to read it. And while we're at it, if you have a better way to use this claw jank, shoot me a clip of it on the Discord. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one.